Another video with new stories from Ethiopia, Somalia and Eritrea. Firstly, Somalia. Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud attended East African Community's Heads of State Summit held in Arusha. There he requested inclusion of Somalia in EAC. EAC has concluded its Heads of State Summit. A joint statement has been issued. Will Somalia be made part of EAC or not? What does this joint statement tell us? Secondly, we have a new story about Al-Shabaab's attack on Ethiopian territories. Despite a 48-hour-long operation, Ethiopian government forces could not push all Al-Shabaab fighters out of Ethiopian territories. What is happening? Is Al-Shabaab operating in small groups in Ethiopian territories? And meanwhile, Bakul zone governor issued a statement. Bakul zone shares border with Afdir zone of the Somali region of Ethiopia, and he accused Ethiopian forces, Somali Leo police, that they are involved in killing of civilians in Bakul zone. So while Ethiopia is under attack, Somalia's Bakul region governor is accusing Ethiopian government forces too. Thirdly, we have a new story about a Tigrayan diaspora member who attended a graduation ceremony a few hours ago in London, and there he raised Tigray's flag. It seems the Tigrayans, especially diaspora community members, don't want to be introduced as Ethiopians. They want to be introduced as Tigrayans. And lastly, we know that on the 28th of July this month in Sweden, Eritrean festival, diaspora festival is going to start, and Avil Said, an Eritrean poet, has been invited to attend this festival, one of the major European festivals of Eritrean diaspora community. Before that, some Eritrean diaspora opposition groups are trying to stop this festival. They have written a letter to the company which is renting its facility to the organizers of the festival, due to start on the 28th of July. Firstly, we are Somalia. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, Somalia's president, has attended East African Community's Heads of State Summit held in Arusha, Tanzania. East African Community is a regional bloc established around 2 decades ago. The bloc wants to work towards economic and political integration in East Africa. One passport, one currency is the target of this bloc. It wants, you can say, merger of East African countries with one president as well, along the lines of EU, with an assembly, with a president, ministers as well. 7-member EAC is expanding, and Somalia, South Sudan, they want to be part of EAC. Kenya chaired this Heads of State Summit of EAC, and these days Kenya-Somalia relations are very friendly. Hassan Sheikh a few days ago traveled to Kenya. There he signed a bilateral agreement, and then he traveled to Arusha, Tanzania, where he requested that Somalia be made part of EAC. Now, EAC Heads of State Summit has been concluded. A joint statement has been issued. So what happened? Will Somalia be made a member of EAC or not? The statement says that Somalia's inclusion in EAC will be fast-tracked and complete roadmap has been prepared for integration of South Sudan. It means South Sudan is going to be made a member of EAC in coming weeks or months. But Somalia's membership, it will be fast-tracked. It means that in principle, it has been decided that Somalia will be part of EAC, but it will take some time. Now, my question is that Somalia is going to join this important regional bloc, and the objective, the formation of this bloc is sort of formation of a federation in East Africa with participation of these countries. Did Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud consult Somalia's parliament? Did he consult cabinet? Did he consult the Prime Minister of Somalia, Hamza Abdi Bare? By the way, Hamza Abdi Bare has not formed any cabinet so far, Prime Minister of Somalia. So who did Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud consult before making such a key decision? It's a key decision that Somalia will become part of EAC. I don't think he consulted anyone. We did not see any debate in Somalia's parliament. Hassan Sheikh just went to Arusha and there he made a request that Somalia be made part of EAC. I think before that, he should have consulted the parliament. He should have consulted the Prime Minister. He should have formed the cabinet, or PM should have formed the cabinet, and this decision should have been made with consultation of PM, Parliament and cabinet. But no such consultation took place in Somalia, reportedly. Secondly, we have a new story from Ethiopia. We know that Ethiopian Somali region is under attack from Al-Shabaab fighters who entered a Somali region of Ethiopia 48 hours ago. What is happening in the Somali region? Is Al-Shabaab still there? Before having a look at Somali region, Bakul region, Bakul zone is part of southwest state of Somalia. And this Bakul zone shares border with Afdir zone of Somali region. And Al-Shabaab fighters, they entered Ethiopia moving through Bakul zone. First they attacked two Bakul zone towns, Yid and Ato. And then they entered Somali region. Today, Bakul zone governor Muhammad Tal released a statement. He said that Ethiopian government forces, Somali Leo police, were involved in civilian killings in Bakul zone. And secondly, he warned Ethiopian forces that they must not enter Somalia. They must consult the local administration first. So while Ethiopian government forces and Al-Shabaab fighters are fighting, Bakul zone governor does not want Ethiopian government forces to enter Bakul without an approval from Bakul zone government. But we do know that for years, a Somali special force was deployed to Yid and Ato. So where was Muhammad Tal a few days ago, before the start of this attack, when Somali Leo police was deployed to Yid and Ato? Now he is complaining. But yes, if civilians have been killed in Bakul zone at the hands of Ethiopian government forces, it should be condemned. And Ethiopia has no right to enter Somalia's territories. At the same time, Somalia must also man the border. If the border is not manned and if it's vulnerable to attacks from Al-Shabaab, then obviously Ethiopian government forces, they will try to enter Bakul to make a sort of buffer zone between Al-Shabaab and Ethiopia. And that is what has been happening reportedly. Now, inside Somali region, what's happening there? Firstly, some pictures have been shared by some Somali region backed news sources. They say that some Al-Shabaab fighters have been taken prisoner. You can see some pictures on your screen. These are Al-Shabaab fighters shown by Somali region government-backed news sources. They have been taken prisoner in Afdir. Their weapons can also be seen. Mustafa Omar, Somalian president, was also seen today, and he is there reportedly in Afdir zone leading this operation. And in Al-Kere, which is in Afdir zone, several pits with buried arms have been discovered. It means that Al-Shabaab fighters wanted to reach Al-Kere, where there were arms available as well, hidden underground, but they could not control Al-Kere. And in Al-Kere, I think that Al-Shabaab commander was killed a few days ago in Somali region, Muhammad Usman. He was killed in Al-Kere. So Al-Shabaab fighters could not reach Al-Kere and they could not take control of Al-Kere. Now, what is the situation on the ground now? So far, Al-Shabaab fighters could not be pushed out of the Somali region of Ethiopia. Fighting is still ongoing. And some say that fighting is ongoing not only in Afdir zone, but also in Shabale, neighboring zone of Somali region, that there is presence of Al-Shabaab in Shabale as well. It seems that Al-Shabaab is operating in small groups in Somali region. How many Al-Shabaab fighters are in Somali region? That's not clear. It was being said that there are around 100 Al-Shabaab fighters, but it seems that this number could be bigger. There could be several groups of Al-Shabaab fighters operating in different parts of their and Shabale zones of Somali region. We'll update you, but so far we can confirm that Al-Shabaab fighters are still in Somali region of Ethiopia. Thirdly, we have a clip for you showing graduation ceremony held in London, where a Tigrayan diaspora member can be seen displaying Tigray's flag. Tigrayan diaspora members don't want to be introduced as Ethiopians. They want to be introduced as Tigrayans. We saw a clip from a university in the US as well a few days ago, when Tigrayan University students, they were called on stage during a ceremony and they were introduced as from Tigray. Among Tigrayan diaspora, there is overwhelming support for independence of Tigray. Secession from Ethiopia is supported by majority of Tigrayan diaspora community. But ground realities are a little different. That is why Tigray government has not declared independence so far. But we have seen on more than one occasions that Tigray diaspora community members, they don't use Ethiopian flags. They always use Tigray's flag. Watch this video showing a graduation ceremony held in London. Lastly, viewers, on the 28th of July, Eritrean Diaspora Festival will start in Sweden. From the 28th of July till the 31st of July, celebrations will be held. And this is one of the major Eritrean diaspora festivals in Europe. This year, a poet from Eritrea has been invited to attend this festival. His name is Awil Said, known for his patriotic content, some say genocidal content. Most of his poetry is related to war. He will perform as well at this festival. Some Eritrean diaspora opposition groups are trying to stop this festival. They have written a letter to the company which is renting its facility for the organizing of this festival. Bright Future Movement, which is an Eritrean opposition group based in diaspora, has written a letter to the company which is going to give its facility to the organizers of this festival. Bright Future Movement in the letter claims that this festival is being organized by YPFDJ, which is youth wing of Eritrean ruling party led by Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean ruler. And this party is just one party which is allowed to work in Eritrea. No elections, no democracy in Eritrea. So YPFDJ is an extension of PFDJ. That is what Bright Future Movement says. Secondly, the Bright Future Movement says that Awil Said, the poet invited to perform, is known for sharing hateful content. He promotes war. He promotes alleged genocide campaigns of Eritrean government. And thirdly, the statement mentions Daud Isaac, Eritrean journalist who had Swedish nationality as well, that he was put in prison around 2 decades ago, and his only crime was that he called for democratic reforms in Eritrea, and he's still in prison. The Swedish government should not allow this festival, and this company should also, it shouldn't rent its facility for this festival. So some Eritrean diaspora groups are trying to stop this festival. Let's see what happens. I'll update you on the 28th of July. Will this festival be organized or not? That remains to be seen. Thank you for watching.